Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. Everton 2, Norwich City 0. The boys got the result. we needed. And joined by Dave and Barry. 2 Barrys in the studio. Doesn't get better.
Double Baz.
There you go. Dave and Barry from the County Road Bobblers podcast. Make sure you check it out. Lads, a huge sigh of relief after that win. You know, we'd had all the stuff on Twitter, here come Everton and all that, you know, with Norwich, 15 defeats on the run and all that, but it's just important. Baz wanted to get the 3 points.
Just 3, like we were saying, when we just get the 3 points, happy days. Performance was all right. Thought he'd done all right. Had a bit of a scare in the second half. I think it was 10-15 minutes. And then, but we were fine. But we never looked like out of control of the game. I thought we controlled it from minute 1 to 90. We should have been 2 up before the penalty. Townsend, he missed a good chance, and I think Rondon as well. Or
we had one
where Gray fizzed it right across, and Rondon couldn't get on the end of it. But like we were saying, if Calvert-Lewin or Richie were fit, then you know you turn it up before the pen, and the game's done. But now it was just good to get the 3 points.
Yeah, just definitely. That was the most important thing, Dave, on it, just because obviously the injuries and all that. We'll come on to the team in a minute, but the injuries, you're looking at a game like that, you just want them 3 points, don't you?
You do, but nothing's given in the Premier League, is it? You've got to take it, you know, and there's a lot of people who just say, you've got to, you know, we'll beat him, we'll beat them, and, you know, we've all been there, we look at the fixture list, you say, well, what we get over the next 6 games, you know, and you count your chickens, you know what I mean, and it's Everton, you know, quite often, you know, it's them games like Stoke, you know, how many times they turned us over at home and stuff like that, you know, I remember the Bojan, you know, and you know, goals that have gone in against the penalty at Cold Boxing Day. You just can't count these games as wins. You've got to actually turn up. You've got to battle, and it doesn't matter who you're playing. You can only beat who's in front of you. So yeah, no, I what Barry just said spot on. I think, you know, that we were tactically, I think, set up well. You know, and even when we made the substitutions at one stage as well, I think we delayed our subs because I think they made 2 or 3 at once. And you could see Rafa just wanted to watch how they adapted, and then, you know, he then made his decision. But it was just nice to see, you know, and it, you know, we're not heart and mouth stuff like sometimes we are. We just watch it and enjoy it. The only thing is, I think that at times we were quite passive, and that probably because it became too easy for us, you know. And you know, obviously Tamari Gray, Alan, Takure. A couple of times they just, you know, threw the shoulder down and went forward and just were a bit more direct, which was nice to see. But Iwobi's natural instincts to come back inside and keep possession, and that kind of played into Norwich's hands a bit. But yeah, look, it's 3 points, isn't it? 2 could have been 3 or 4 in the end, so what more do you want?
Yeah, I mean, that was it. You look at the team, and obviously we're struggling a little bit with injuries, but it was a big bonus to get Pickford back in goal, I think, obviously. It was great to see him back. There being a scare over Luca Dean coming off a QPR, but thankfully he was fit, because we were thinking we might have the 4 centre-backs across the back again.
Threading that back 4, absolutely threading that.
But, you know, I mean, he put out as strong a team as he could, and then we had, obviously, Lewis Dobbin on the bench, which was good to see. Jarrett Brantwaite, who'd played the night before, and ended that under-23 game as an emergency striker, was on the bench on the Saturday. So we knew that it was going to be a difficult game with the team, but I thought we started the game fine, and we got hold of it early on, which is what we needed to do.
Yeah, I thought we took control quite early, and then obviously they're just coming to sit back, aren't they? So we took control quite early. As I said, we should have been 2-0 up. But no, I thought his team was his best what he could have picked.
Yeah. A few people thought about maybe Holgate at right back rather than Godfrey. I mean, what do you think about that? Because Godfrey's obviously had COVID, and he doesn't look himself at the minute, which is, you know, he's got to build that fitness up. Would you have gone with Holgate, or do you think Godfrey just needs to play to get those minutes?
I think Godfrey's got to play, because he's better than Holgate, and he's quicker, and obviously like their left side, that Brandon Williams or whatever, he's only got pace.
Yeah,
so
quick,
you know, all right, he got past Godfrey quite a few times in a sprint race, like, but he just spoke to Holgate all day, so it's probably best. And Godfrey's better going forward than him.
Yeah.
Than Holgate.
Because of the pace, isn't it?
It's probably that's another reason why he plays over him. And like Dave will tell you, I'm not Godfrey's biggest fan.
Right.
As you've heard me in the match numerous times. So I'd have still gone with him over Algate, no bother.
Dave, I mean, the key thing for me was that Decore and Alan got hold of the game straight away, and they're really becoming a partnership now, aren't they? Whereas last season, I think because one was having to babysit James Rodriguez and do all his running for him, which was Decore, he could never... We didn't quite get the player we got from Watford last year, which is what we all wanted to see, the box-to-box. But I think this year, whatever Benitez has said, probably just said, actually, lads, just play your normal game. Yeah. And I think him and Alan are really strong in there now, and that was, for me, that was what got Everton control of that game early on.
Yeah, last season was a weird season, wasn't it, for a number of reasons, but, you know, it's nice to see them as a partnership. And you know what it's like, you need your partnerships on the field, you know, and you need that chemistry. And I was having a laugh in the week saying, you know, Gomez and Davies, it's like we know that partnership doesn't work and we keep trying to push it. But look, Doucouré and Allen have settled in now, and you know, that license to go forward, like you said there, you know, James isn't there anymore, so he has been able to kind of charge forward and play that role that we've seen really against Everton over the last couple of seasons when he played for Watford, where he terrified us at times. Yeah. And we've missed that type of player probably since Barkley went. Not to say that Barkley was rated by me, but you know, I think we've missed that ability for a player just to charge forward and cause teams problems. And the weird thing is, I seen a stat the other day to say that actually he had more ball recoveries by nearly double than any other player on the pitch. Yeah. So he's still doing the other side of his game. You know, he's still making the challenges, he's still getting the ball back, but you know, he's chipping and going forwards as well, which it's the player we bought, it's the player we expected. And look, Alan won the penalty. So, you know, it's both of them, you know, got that license to get into the box. And I mean, I didn't actually see the penalty live at first. I was like looking around, you know, trying to find someone who'd actually picked up on it. And then me mate, I said, who was the defender there? My mate went, it was Kabak, and I went, right, it must be penalty. Straight away, because he's reckless, isn't he? You know, we've seen that last season, you know, when he played for the other side. That he is a bit of a reckless player. But yeah, they've both got that chemistry and they're both working together. And, you know, that can only be a good thing if that partnership continues. But weirdly, for the first time, I was saying as well, that if you look at our starting 11 now, when everyone's fit, most people would probably agree with it. I don't think many would change too much. You know, everyone would probably be able to agree on what our strongest 11 is, which been a few seasons, I think, before probably going back to Moyes since I've been able to say that.
I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know whether that's like the quality drop off. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and it's right, is that, and I guess the next step will be for Benitez to be able to add more quality to that,
more options on the bench,
and so you can look. Because ultimately we don't want that, do we? No. We kind of do, because that's how you get a pattern of play. Yeah. But we also want to be looking and going, well, who's going to be wide today? Who's going to be? And then that means that you've got equal on the bench. Where Saturday we were threadbare on the bench. Let's be honest, wasn't many options. But I think, like you said, Baz, we could have been ahead before we did, and you know, we had the Andros Charms on, which was actually a nice little move. Yeah, dummies, and Rondon fed them, and he should have really done better, shouldn't he?
Yeah, we were saying on the way up, like, it looks like he's gone for like the spectacular, you know, smashing in like top corner, and he's just missed it. And it's literally, it couldn't have gone any further down Krul's throat. But no, it was a nice move. It was just a shame we couldn't top it off with a goal. And
then we got the pen, which we thought, well, straight away we thought the pen.
Everyone around us said no, didn't he? And I said it's a penalty. But
once they take a bit of time, you know that it's
once it takes a bit of time, then they've got obviously looking at something. And then I think I said to you, like, if they're taking this long, then it's a pen. Yeah. And then
he come over and they're fuming with it. But when you see it again, Dave, it's actually, I mean, for me, it's 100% penalty. He catches him on the knee. I don't know what Daniel Farke was complaining about.
No, and I think he said it was going to go out for the corner, but when you look, the ball wasn't even travelling that far. You know, and Tim Krul wasn't ready to come out and take it. So, and all that messing around with him as well. You know, I think Townsend picked the ball up straight away. He was confident, wasn't he, straight away?
He walked off to the left. And
I think he put the ball down and Krul moved it, and he was trying to play like the comedy villain and all that.
He's done it twice as well. Yeah. He'd done it when he'd give it, because he walked over, stood over the ball, and then walked back and then grabbed his net and everything. You just stand on your line.
And he's a good penalty saver him as well. He's huge as well, isn't he, Krull? So, cool penalty from Town. Well, it looks cool. If he goes that way, it's a terrible penalty. It's like anything, but he slotted it. And I mean, Richarlison, who was obviously in the ground, will have been fuming because no Dom and Everton get a penalty.
I know he would have been on pen duties, wouldn't he?
He'd have been on it. But I mean, Andros Townsend's he's made a fantastic start for a free transfer, hasn't he?
You know, especially a free transfer, as you said. You know, is it 4 goals, 3 assists? Yeah. You know, he's near enough matched Hammers for last year already.
He has the same.
Or it might even be the same.
Hammers had 3 and 4, 3 goals, 4 assists. He's got 4 goals, 3 assists.
Yeah, so and it's just nice to have like somebody who can actually cross a ball. Because I can't remember the last winger we had who like he gets it out wide, and you know it's going in this like 6-yard box penalty spot. Because
he'd put a fantastic ball in and Rondon just couldn't get across it, and you're thinking if when Rondon's fit or if Dom's there, he's getting on the end of that, and he's 2-footed as well and works hard.
Well, he did take a corner in the first half, didn't he?
With this,
and it was
with his right
flashbacks of Gomez at QPR, just along the floor.
Medicine ball.
Fear-rolled it, didn't he? Fear-rolled it. But I mean, to get that goal, it was a big sigh of relief, wasn't it? And I think I liked Norwich, the 2 lads they had in midfield. Norman, I thought he was good for them.
Is that the one who looks like he's come out the Eurovision Song Contest?
And they had the other, the 20, the big lad. I thought they were their best 2 players. But Norman had Norwich's best attempt in the first half, which Pickford had to push wide. It bounced. You'd expect Pickford to save it, but it's still bouncing. It's all good. But that was really because they knock it round really nice, don't they? But they just don't seem to go anywhere, do they?
Yeah, it's a bit like us under like third-year Martinez. Just knock it round nicely, but no end product. No. Like didn't really go forward. Like,
and yet we had Lukaku in that team.
I don't know. Did Norwich have more of the ball on Saturday as well?
I think they had 51%.
I think that'll be a trend for us, though, won't it? I don't know if Benitez is going to try and control possession, you know.
I think that probably coming. That you mentioned before, the 20-minute spell in the second half when we did retreat and just let them have it, because that's what we've kind of played on, the counter-attacking style, and we're really good at it, which is mad to say, but we're really good at nicking the ball and springing teams now, which Damari, Gray and Townsend have brought that into the team, obviously, and that's what we did, and we probably just let them off the ball. But, you know, we got to half-time 1-0, and we were in total control, like you said before, and I thought the first 5 minutes of the second half, we come out nice and bright again.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Townsend had one that hit the side net and a good little turn and hit the side net. We had a couple of crosses that fizzed over. We looked like we were on top, but then we kind of let them back into it.
Like we sort of let our guard down, and it's always nervy at 1-0. You know, like I think it was the centre half was Gibson. When the ball come across, he just free header.
Took his eye off it, didn't he?
You know, you can't be giving chances like that away. A better team punishes you done it. So you let the guard down for 10-15 minutes, but
Pickford save as well, of course, from Norman.
Yeah, off Norman,
which was a really good save as well.
And then the free kick that nearly hit us on the side.
No.
Other than that, they never troubled us, but we just let them go into the game. You know, like giving like silly fouls away where. I think Luca Dean got a booking, didn't he, in the second half?
Yeah. I think he was lucky to stay on. Daniel Farke was complaining at that because it was handball. He was saying it's a booking.
I don't know. I think that's just clutching at straws for me.
It was a handball, wasn't it? But
it was a free kick. Yeah.
You know, if his arms like full on,
he jumped, didn't he? Turned, didn't he? And,
you know, he's done that. Yeah. So sort of, you know, maybe if he'd not been booked, he'd have been booked. But
well, me and Ped were saying on the way in that Kabak was lucky. Was it? Yeah, Kabak was lucky
because he got booked first half.
Got booked first half and pulled thingy back second half, and that he could have walked then, and the referee didn't send him off, and he could have done.
But he's probably like just evened that out there.
The same thing. You know. So, but we did. You know, we made it was that 20 minutes. I think you're right. I think the problem, and Barry's right, isn't he, Dave? That against better sides, if you given like I think it was Ben Gibson, that free header inside the 6-yard box, he took his eye off it and it fizzed across. But we've got to make sure. I think Jordan Pickford give Michael Keane a good bollocking for it because he did just leave him on his own. Someone's got to take responsibility there, haven't he?
Yeah, that stood out to me actually because you only see it when you're inside the ground, I think. But Pickford's dead vocal, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, even when like with the other ends of the pitch, he's walking up and you hear him screaming, and it's it's a side to his game that people don't really pick up on. Do you know? And we've missed that vocal presence almost back there. And again, you know, a couple of seasons ago he wasn't a presence for us, but now he does seem to have like grown into this kind of like leadership role, you know, where he's bossing the defenders and talking to them.
That's confidence though, isn't he? He's obviously, and I think seeing the psychologist has really helped them, and probably becoming a father's really helped them, settled them down. The haircuts definitely helped them. The haircut has definitely helped them.
He's matured, hasn't he? You know, what is he, 27 now?
Yeah,
you know, he was only 20, 23, 24 when he bought. So he's, as a goalie, he's still relatively young, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's obviously been playing with England. So
and that's been great. He's been great for England.
Yeah. So
his kicking's fantastic as well, isn't it? Let's you know, you notice the difference with him and I know Begovic was a backup keeper, and you notice the difference with the hands as well. But the kicking. No, but my criticism with Begovic is, and again, me and Pedro said this, like he's 6'6" or 6'5".
Big lad, yeah.
Come off his line.
No,
he stays on his line.
He's very quiet as well. It's like when we were at QPR, like we were only like three rows back, and didn't hear him once. Whereas,
and yet you can hear Pickford, can't you?
You could hear Pickford for miles. So I think like that helps the defence out as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's all part of it, isn't it? You want to see them, because I think every club, every team should be challenging each other, players-wise. You know, there's this thing of like, it seems to have gone out the game. This like the ability to grab your teammate by the throat and go, any chance of having a go in?
Criticise, can you?
That's it.
Not criticise, but you can't say, come on, pick your man up and all stuff like that.
Think back to like Roy Keane, you know, you should have the Neville's brothers up by the throats, didn't he, in games, because it's about winning football matches, and I think the more you get at that, and you see, I want my players challenging each other.
I think Townsend's like that though, isn't he?
I think he's quite vocal.
Early days, yeah.
And I think he sets the tempo because he works so hard, and I think if you've got lads who do that for you, Godfrey's up last year. I know he's only just coming back, but we did see that last year. But he wasn't quite vocal, but he was a tempo setter by smashing into people and all. I think the more you get at that, I think people look at you then and think these can mix it a little bit. It's what the you know, I was hard back to being a kid, but it's what the 80s side had.
Look at that.
They mix it. Do you want a scrap? All right, we'll have a scrap. Then, or do you want to have a game of footy? Oh, we'll have a game of footy. We'll beat you at either.
Look at that spine though now. We've got, because I think Martinez started signing like smaller ticky-taka type players, didn't he? And we kind of got away from that, where we were with Moyes, where we were kind of tough to beat.
Physical side.
But you look at that spine now, you've got, you know, when everyone's fit, you've got like, you know, Mina, Godfrey potentially, both big aggressive lads, they'll mix it with you. Takure Allen, you know, enforces in the centre. And Richarlison likes to have a bit of a bash, doesn't he? And Calvert-Lewin can handle himself. And then, you know, even at the sides, like Townsend, Gray's a big lad that, you know, constantly on the move, and Coleman, who's vocal. I mean, I know it's not Luca Dean's natural go-to, but I think is he vice captain Luca Dean still?
He's captain.
So he obviously has got that about him that he feels like he can be a bit of a leader there as well. So look, we've got all of a sudden a pitch full of players who are big, physical. They can actually, you know, do that thing like you said, get hold of the other player and have a go at them. But Mina doesn't half help that, does he? You know, I think we've really missed him.
I think Rondon, when he's fit, I know he's not. I know people are quick to write him off.
The L4 Hulk will come good.
I know all that, but he's not fit. And we've got to remember with Solomon Rondon.
He's not played for 5 months, has he?
He was bought as a sub. That's literally, he was bought to come in, get fit over the next 4 to 6 weeks, and then be an option if Dom's getting battered, to bring him on with 20 minutes. And he does like to mix it. So I think at the moment, he's just trying to play his way into some fitness, which is difficult to do. Playing more than anyone would have hoped right now. The ideal world would have been he played against QPR. That was like his first, you know what I mean? That kind of game where he's up front and then he can play 70 minutes and he comes off and he's a sub. Sadly, we've had to use him because we've lost Dom, but I think he's an option off the bench to come on and be that physical outlet as well, which I think you're right, Dave. We moved away from that solid, you know, the solidness of a team.
You could argue we moved away from being Everton.
Possible. I mean,
we're starting to get a bit of identity back.
Yeah. No, we're not sitting here going, well, we just want to be hard to beat, because that isn't what we want.
You need a bit of effing to.
But you need a mix. The best teams, unless you're Man City, who are, when they click, they're incredible to watch. The best teams, Liverpool, big, strong, physical side, but can mix it. Chelsea, right now, Chelsea, you know, big, strong side who can mix it. United are another one. Leicester are another one.
No one should be coming to Goodison Park and feeling like they haven't been in a game.
Yeah.
And
regardless of the
It
result.
always used to be too nice.
And
You know, it's like we never used to challenge nothing. You know, like, apart from you.
I challenge everything. I'll contest
apart from you.
Let's try to get them going because they don't seem to.
But you never used to see like none of the players like kicking off on the referee.
No. You lost
whereas you can sort of see it now.
But the question of Marty, I still think we need to do it more.
Like when the Burnley one, I think when the Charleston got kicked, Coleman straight over. You know, and that's the first time we've seen that in God knows how long.
And we need 2 or 3 of them doing it. They don't, just to let the referee know it's unacceptable. That tackle's not having that. We'll sort it if you don't. That's what they need to be saying to him. Sort that, because otherwise we'll sort it. And I think if you get that togetherness, the best teams have it. The best teams have that. They have that togetherness of like, such him, you're there and me, so I'm coming after you. Let people know they're in a game. But you know, we did wrestle it back off them. Like I said before, we allowed them. We knew that they were going to be a possession team because they don't change. No matter what, they've not changed since 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, they haven't.
I think Ped said a bit last week, and he's right. Even on the Norwich opposition preview, they've got a decision to make. Norwich. It's like, do we just keep doing what we're doing with this fella, or do we mix it now and get someone else in who possibly gives us half a chance of staying up? Because I think if they carry on, they're down.
Well, luckily for them, they're only 6 points.
Yeah,
off it, and at the minute, it's not a big, it's not a big gap. But no, if they lose the next 2, 3, then teams in Ireland will pick points up, and they're gone by November.
Because you look at like Newcastle who are down there, and they've got like Callum Wilson to come up who gets goals, and other teams who have got goals in them. And
future Everton player, ASM as well. Chico Jules told us a few rumours he might be coming to Goodison, so.
But no end product, not for me, not for 50 million quid, not a chance. We made the change. I wrongly on my aftermatch thing said Townsend got the assist. He didn't, he'd gone off the pitch. But I hadn't looked at the goals back, just from the game. I think he come in, Anthony Gordon come on for Andros Townsend, but Everton sprang Norwich the way we have done with a few teams this season, which was going and closing down, and Allen goes and nicks it, and then Gray takes it over, and Abdoulaye Doucouré makes a brilliant run and slots, doesn't he? No,
we seem to like hunting like pack of wolves now. Which we've not really done that before. No. But no, Alan's unwell to nick the ball, and then the move was quite good as well.
Was.
I think Alan played it to Rondon, and then Rondon knocked it back to him, and then did Alan get the assist with it?
Gray.
Oh, Gray, and then he's knocked it to Gray, and then Gray's knocked it onto.
And it's a great run by Doucouré, because he just we had players
Rondon took them away, didn't he?
Rondon goes to the left, and Doucouré opens up, and then once it's in front of him, you're just thinking hit the target, and obviously where we sit the minute it left his foot,
we said straight away, didn't we? But no, it's nice to see like both your midfielders breaking. As Dave said before, like they're not like restricted anymore, where like you're not going past the halfway line. You know, it looks like he's like the manager's gone to both of them. Go and have a bit of freedom, and they've both gone forward at that point. Alan took the ball, give it to Gray, and Gray's knocked it onto the other centre mid, and he's put it back in the net. And that's the Doucouré we've seen when he's played against us, and we've been thinking, well, he should play him, and we've only seen it. We're seeing it now.
I think the thing as well is like those two seem to have that thing of like, which is what most good midfielders have, is like, you go, I'll sit. Because Alan, the amount of times Alan just sat back,
almost telepathic,
and taking the ball down and then starting us off again. The two he was even deeper than the centre back sometimes, and things like that. But like you said before, Dave, you know, we've had one centre midfielder's won us the pen, and the other one's clinched the game for us, and it's great to see, isn't it? It's great to see Doucouré bringing that to this team.
It is, and you know, again, we talk about contributions and partnerships. The two wingers we brought in, 1.7 million between them, 1 assist for one and 1 goal for the other again. You know, so they both had an effect on the game. And I've seen something before. Damari Gray and Townsend have contributed to 68% of our goals, whether it's an assist or a goal. And that says it all. You know, last season everyone was saying, well, we needed Hammers to do something, you know, to get us going, or, you know, I won't name the other playmaker, but, you know, we're almost reliant on individuals to do stuff, essentially, is what I'm saying. Now it does appear that we can score different types of goals from all different types of places, and it's, you know, we haven't had just Charleston or Calvert-Lewin, so it does feel like we're not even going at the moment, you know, and they are to come in, and, you know, I think, again, it's only going to be a good thing, because the goals are going to get spread around even further, aren't they? You know, and that's what we want to be. We want to be in a position where we're not just relying on the one fella every week to pull us out to the crap, you know what I mean?
Let's have a look at Abdoulaye Doucouré, because obviously, you know, he's got the killer goal for us. Here he is, his performance against Norwich, 90 minutes played, 1 goal, 4 tackles, 88% passing accuracy, and he's won 6 out of 11 ground deals. And like you said before, he had 13 ball recoveries, which is more than double, almost double what everybody else did have on the pitch. We're now seeing the reason why we wanted them for a couple of years
ago,
and now if he can bring 6 goals to the midfield, and he's got a couple already, that's a huge improvement for us, because for years we've had nobody.
You're not relying on just one player to score your goals, like you said, especially Doucouré, he's chipping in now.
And he can keep making them runs, can't he? There's nothing, if he does that, it's very difficult to be able to mark against it.
Yeah, well, as you said, it seems like the two centre-mids, like, they understand each other. Like, as you said, you go, I'll sit, and vice versa. But he doesn't stop running.
No.
And I think that's what we've been missing in midfield. Like, it was nice having, like, Gomez and Garner, whereas, you know, like, Garner's just non-stop. It's like him, but we've always said Garner can't pass, whereas Doucouré can, and he gets forward and scores.
Ironically, though, Garner's game did improve in the last few months with us in the PSG. His goal at the weekend, again, he scored another rocket, hasn't he? Well, you're right, it's that physical presence, but being able to get all over the pitch as well, it helps everybody else.
He'll put himself about as well, which is what you want to see. Like, you don't want to see a centre midfielder being like all tippy-tappy. You know, you want to see him get him stuck in there, which is what he does. Like, even his recoveries, like, you know, I never used to have him down. I was like a ball winner, but it seems he can do everything.
He can do it all.
Find me a man who can do it all.
Yeah,
and we did. And we did.
Got him.
Well, it is vital to the team to have that, again, tone setter, if you like, but somebody can go around them and nick the ball back for you. And I think when he's got the physique he's got as well, difficult to play against. And if Everton can, you know, again, you're looking ahead, but you're hoping that soon we've got Richarlison back and we've got Don back, and then we're putting this together, and Doucouré's making these runs, and you start looking at it like that, all of a sudden you think, you know what, we have actually got
we've got something here.
You know, we're having to, what we're doing at the moment, which is what we needed, we're getting by without our 2 chief goal scorers. So we've come to a game at the weekend that's a massive banana skin. They've lost so many games. We've got no players, we've got injuries, and we've been able to, by hook or by crook, win the game. You know, penalty from one midfielder, centre midfielder getting the second goal. Buys you a little bit of time for this week. But, I mean, Andros Townsend, Dave, is another one, you know, nothing, free transfer, probably everybody. We all went, what?
Yeah, right. It's
because, I'll tell you why it was, because all summer you're getting here linked with this player and that player and Rabiot, and you're getting this winger and that winger, Leon Bailey, and then the next minute Andros Townsend's coming for nothing.
And
you kind of go, what? But the manager had done his homework, worked with him before. Done his homework. We know that Rafael Benitez is very data-driven as well, which is probably what we need. We need to be a little bit smarter.
We said before, didn't we, before we started talking on camera about like the stats-based approach, you know, and I know people get touchy on that subject sometimes, but it's important, you know, and sometimes, look, we've got someone who's really good at heading the ball. Let's get someone who's really good at crossing the ball. And it's not rocket science, you know what I mean? And you know, and we do overcomplicate things at times in football. I think that phrase years ago, wasn't it? You know, it's a simple game complicated by fools. You know, and at times he's just come in and said, look, we haven't got much money. This fella is, you know, great at crossing, and we'll get the best out of Dom. He's brought him in, and you know, he's actually probably way exceeded most people's expectations, but he's offering a lot, you know, and he, by his own admission, he came in as a squad player. You think he described himself as, and he, you know, that he had that kind of willingness to say, well, that's, you know, I agree to come as a squad player, but I'm going to get in that first team. You know, and he took the bull, you know, by the horns as such, and all of a sudden, you know, you can't see a team sheet without him, can you?
I was going to say, he's one of the first names on it. Let's have a look at his numbers from the weekend. There you go. We played 76 minutes, 1 goal, no assist, despite me trying to give him one. 1 key pass, and he won 5 out of 6 of his ground duels. I mean, he's far exceeded, I think, everybody's expectations for what he's produced so far.
Yeah, he's starting to prove me wrong.
Only
He's only starting to prove me wrong.
It's always a tough ask to get.
And you know me, but it takes me...
Got to take a bit of time.
It takes years to win me over. But no, it's like he's got a good work rate as well. And I think, like with some of the wingers we have watched previously, you know, like Bernard, a few others we've had, you know,
people like that,
the sheet clickers, but that's about it. You know, they've got no work rate about them. Like if a man goes past them, go see you later. Where at Townsend, you know, he works his socks off, and that's ultimately what we want to see. And he's on like the same as Gray in terms of like goals and assists, and that's how he's contributing. Like he's not just a passenger. We're not carrying him. He's going well. So I think what else did he done something else as well?
I quite liked it, you know, with the start of the season where there was that penalty gate as well.
Yeah,
he went over and helped Coleman. You know, I know Alan went over as well, and he knocked the ball out of his hands and thought, you're not having it. So
that's like leadership as well. So it's nice to see another leader as well.
It's I think with him is that again he works that hard that it rubs off on other players. And he is not only is he working hard,
good honest player.
He's scoring goals and he's creating goals. And I think if you've got that in your team and players look at him, and I think he's fantastic for someone like Anthony Gordon, who's already come out and said, I can't believe how hard he works for a winger. Well, that's good then, because you're thinking, I want to get in this team. What do I have to do? Exactly, and when you've got someone like that, and again, managers do this thing where they bring people they've worked in before, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. Cuca Martina. But no, we've seen it, but every manager does it, don't they? Every manager goes back and gets someone in. But I think what's really good is he's come in and is producing. And like you just said, Dave, you can't think of a team sheet without him. You look at him going, well, he gets in at the moment.
If we signed him,
when everyone's fit.
If we signed him from Valencia for 18 million,
oh God,
you know, everyone would be crowing over him. And we're all guilty of it. You know, we want the fancy names, and I think it's after years of not being able to spend loads of money. But actually, Everton sometimes are actually really good skint. You know, and some of our better signings actually have been the ones that, you know, that we haven't spent a load of money at. You know, you look at like Barry, we brought him from City. You know, Liverpool's done it with Milner. You know, and you don't always have to spend a fortune to get a player that can really help the side of what it does. And you know, I think he's almost like the oil to the engine at the moment. And he gets us going. He adds so much to the side that we just haven't got. And he's a chalk on the boots winger as well, you know, which is more of a traditional type that we haven't had for ages.
And you just think imagine if we had a really fit right back that could run up and down as well, which overlap for him and give him that little bit of space to come inside as well, you know, because sadly Coleman's picking more and more injuries up now. And as we spoke before, Godfrey, Holgate and the answer are there, so I think that's the next thing, I guess, for Everton to try and bring that right back in.
Yeah, if they get a decent right back, then it'll be nice because, as you said, Townsend can go in while the full back overlaps him.
It's space then, isn't it? He either throws it in or he plays it inside, and then you've got your lad in now.
And Rome wasn't built in a night, you know what I mean? We've got to understand that, and I know, right, look, Brands has been here for years, so there's no forgiving the fact that he hasn't got a right back in, but Benitez is here now, you know, give him time, let's give him some breathing space. And hopefully every window now we see improvements. And hopefully that James deal will free up some money for us to do something in January.
The other, I guess, we'll just very quickly before we finish, touch on the fact it was good to see Lewis Dobbin come on the pitch. Everton finished with Tom Davies and Lewis Dobbin, Anthony Gordon, the three subs all come through the academy, so that was nice. And Dobbin, I think, a couple of nice touches, didn't he?
He looked quite sharp. He looked like he's got a bit of pace about him. Like I'll hold my hands up. I haven't seen him play before. I know he's scored a few in the friendlies in the 23s.
He's quick.
But he seems like, you know, if he knocked the ball down the line, he'll just
be able to get off.
He'll run and chase it, and you know that's what you want to see, because we've only got Tamari Gray, who's got a bit of pace on the wing. You never know, like how old is he? 20?
18, yeah.
So you know he'll probably be in around the first team now.
Tyler Onyang goes back training next week, I think, as well. So he's another one who I think he'll get into the squad as well. So
that's that word that everyone likes to use now, which we haven't had, which is a pathway. You know, again, you know, his teammates will be looking around now, thinking Dobbin's had a go there. You know, so it sets that message that, you know, if you go prove yourself, and we've got a few hat-tricks, hasn't he, Dobbin, over the last few months. So, you know, other players would be thinking, look, well, it's not impossible for me to get into that first team if a show can do a bit. Obviously, there's more subs nowadays, you know, often we like to put 2 goalkeepers just to wind Twitter up on that bench, but you know, all of a sudden, I think a few of the tails will be up there around Finch Farm, you know, and it sends the right message. There's nothing better, is there, though, as well, where you that last 10 minutes where the crowd need a lift. To get a young local, you know, a young academy product on the pitch. You know, we've seen over the years, like Vaughan, Cadamatri, Branch, you know, over the years we always had that striker to come on the last 5 minutes, and, you know, not all of them went on to great success, but you know what I mean, it just perks everyone up and it just adds something, you know, Everton about it really, and it's good to see it.
I'm hoping Sims gets a little go before, because I know maybe the reason why he didn't bring Rondon off, because he wanted them minutes in his legs to finish the game. But Sims has only just come back as well. He's only 10 days back training with the first team, so he's probably not fully up to speed as well. But he's a big lad as well, Ellis Sims. So it'd be nice to see him get his Premier League debut over the next few weeks.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him come up and
see what he's like.
To be fair, he'll probably had a few goals, because when he went to Blackpool, he's done all right, didn't he?
Well, they'll make a decision on him, I guess, in January. So he's got a chance to maybe get some minutes before January, and then...
Yeah, maybe send him back on loan to Blackpool, because obviously they've come up, so send him there, see how he gets on.
And if he does well, then, you know, he's 20, isn't he? So
I watched a lot of Blackpool last season as well, just because he was there, and there's a few other lads, obviously bowlers there now, and a few others are doing well there. But Shane Lavery as well, he's started to chip in a few goals there. So it's, you know, he changed last season for me, because I had me reservations. Is he just a finisher? Can he add more to his all-round game? But from what I see when he first went there, he was like a boy. Towards the back end of the season, unluckily just before he got injured for the final, he was more of a fella playing at that level, and he looked like, you know, he was, you know, had a bit more about him. So he had come on, it worked for him that low.
Said, didn't he? Chrisley said we had to get him, realising that you can't just stand up front and put the ball on, and you've got to work. And I think that when me and Ped have seen him, it's that he just stands around and waits for the ball. He scores, but he's not doing anything else. And I think to play in the Premier League as a centre forward, you've got to be able to move. So hopefully he'll get his little go. Let's just have a look at the stats before we finish the game. 11 shots at 10 in Everton's favour, 4 on target to Norwich's 2, 3 big chances to Norwich's 1, 47% possession, 53 Everton, 420 passes completed by Everton, 487 by Norwich. The XG for the game, if you are interested, was 2-0. Well, it's just a bit more than 2-0 actually. Everton were 2.67, I think Norwich was 0.56 or something. And Everton won their 3rd successive home game for the first time since 1989.
32 years, yeah.
It was the last time we opened with 3 home wins on the run. So it's been quite some time till we've done that.
First time we've seen a few home wins then, isn't it?
There you go, yeah, on the run. So there you go. That is it. Big thanks to Dave and Barry for coming in. Make sure you check out the County Road Bobblers podcast. Check the lads out there. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and if you want more videos, we're carrying on now on Patreon. If you want more videos, join over on Patreon. See you later.